everybody. What we're going to talk about right now is how to do your planning document. Okay. So, what you're going to need to do is when your research is all done, your research should be all done. That means that everything should be filled out in the categories and you feel like you're ready to start creating. Okay. What you're going to do first is you're going to go to where it says superhero villain. And I know this is not the right day, but just go to where it says superhero villain. Okay. Then you're going to go down in your research and click on where it says my element, where you put in your research, okay? And hopefully your research does not look like this, but it's filled with lots of awesome information. So you're going to go down, and you probably saw this document when you were finishing it, but now we're going to scroll down to where it says planning form. And you know what? I'm going to put it like this so you can kind of see it. And all I did was put the cursor above it, and then I'm kind of scrolling down here because you can get it on one page. It kind of looks nice. Okay, so after you're done with your research, the next thing I want you to do that you're going to get a grade for, okay, for completing is planning in your head what your superhero or villain's going to look like, okay? So if you look at this, you have to fill out these 5 parts of the chart, okay? And I gave you an example, but basically what I want you to do is think about 5 things that you learned that you can include into your superhero or your villain. So for example, let's say that I learned that my superhero turns all these different colors, okay? Maybe then I decide, all right, in their uniform, the cape is gonna be rainbow colored. So what I'm gonna do is where it says things included in my picture, I'm gonna type in what is in my picture. So I put rainbow colored cape, okay? Then I'm going to put how it relates to what I learned in my element, and I'm going to try to be really specific. So I'm going to say, and this does not have to be in complete sentences, but I should be able to understand it, so it should have enough detail. So I'm going to say, my element is a gas that can form many colors. That's why I'm going to make the cape rainbow colored, okay? Let's say then I also have a volcano in the background because that's what I drew, right? That's what I included in my picture. And a volcano's in the background. Let's see. My elements can be found in volcano lava. So maybe that's what I learned. So I'm taking what I learned and turning it into something, okay? Let's also say that there is a lightning bolt in the person's hand. Okay, lightning bolt in the hand. Well, then I would say that my elements has lightning in his or her, whatever it is, his or her hand, because he or she can conduct electricity, okay? So electricity can run through it, and it can then give electricity to other things, okay? Well, let me do one more example. Let's say also that yours has a sidekick. So let's say I know some of you did potassium. Let's say banana is a sidekick, okay? Or like something on the side or it's in the background. You would say banana is a sidekick. Let's say potassium is found in bananas, okay? So you're going to do 5 of these for your element. So think about what's going to be in the picture. Okay, and you're going to do 5 of these. I put 6 here in case you want to include another one, but you only have to do 5. Okay, so that's what I want you to do first. All right, now that you have an idea of what's planning, let's look at like what the pictures include. Right, here's what I recommend. You can either do it on some kind of printed program online. So if you want to create it yourself online, or you can use a piece of paper, which I have available, or you can use from home, okay? Or if you go to Google Classroom and you go to where it says superhero prints, you will see, come on, superhero prints, you will see a super buff dude and a super buff dudette, okay? That you can either print out. If you're in person, you can get one of these for me. I printed them out for you. Just ask if you're in person. If you're not in person, you can print one out through your computer, or they are available at the front of the school to come pick up, okay? And they are available right now. Come pick up anytime, all right? Or, again, you could just use a piece of paper and draw it. It doesn't have to be a rigid character, okay? But basically what you're then going to do is you're going to take what you learned about your superhero, right, and incorporate it into the picture. So again, I've got the buff dude or the buff chica, right, the buff lady here if you want to use those. But here's an example, okay? Look at my screen down here. Is there a way to make this bigger? I would think there would be. I don't know what happened. Let me start getting this back. I don't know how to make it bigger. Hold on, guys. Let's go back to this and see if that works. No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. Okay, there's me again. Okay, now I'll get the spotlight off. Sorry, guys. Okay, so let me just show you this. So, like, here's an example of what I would create, right? And I don't have to number it, but here's what I'm going to eventually do, right? I'm going to eventually have a picture where I take, like, hey, number 1 is a hat. 2 is the uniform. 3 is the cape. 4 is what was on the ground, and maybe 5 is the background. Okay, so I'm going to take those and put those into my picture. But so that you know what you're going to draw, this is a planning form. Okay, so you're going to do that before you start making your picture. All right, some examples of what it ends up being. I think I've showed you before in class, but just so you can kind of see it, is you're going to end up with something that's got color all over it, that's nice and neat, and that has these 3 things on it, okay? On your piece of paper, you're going to write down the elements, the name of your hero or villain, and also the symbol, okay? So if you go to where the directions are, it says actually where to go, and it says right here, create a drawing of your superhero or villain. Here's what you need to have. The name of the element needs to be on the page somehow. The name of the superhero villain, the symbol, and then, of course, color it and make it neat. Okay? So as you're planning your document today and thinking about drawing or starting to create, remember all those things have to be on your picture. Okay? So in the end, you have a picture that's got all these things on it, right? You end up with everything like the element. Well, this is kind of hard to see, but you end up with the element name, the superhero villain, and the symbol all together, okay? So that's what we are working on once your research is done.